This portion of 17 News is brought to you by Hillcrest Air Conditioning and Sheet Metal, serving you since 1950.
And it's Weather Wednesday, a time when we get to talk about the weather more in depth together and help you understand a bit more about how it can impact our lives directly in Kern County. Today, I wanted to talk more about the beginning of that Check Before You Burn program. So joining us in studio with more, we have Jamie Holt from the San Joaquin Valley Air Pollution Control District. Thank you for coming down.
My pleasure. My pleasure. I'm so impressed that you got through a lot of weather going on. And it does impact our air quality, so you're right on.
Yeah, and so I wanted to talk first about the dynamics of high pressure. We see those setting up and getting pretty stubborn for the winter. So I have a graphic here from our friends at the National Weather Service that shows you have high pressure and it causes sinking stable air. When we get that, like we're seeing now, it pushes that pollution down here in the valley. We're like a big bowl here, and so we collect it. How does that then affect us as people living on the surface?
Oh, well, it means our pollution definitely deteriorates and we have bad air quality, and we feel it. You know, we see the folks going to the emergency room more than maybe they would if they have some kind of pre-existing condition like asthma, emphysema, COPD. But even those of us who consider ourselves healthy, we're maybe not in one of those sensitive groups, either being older or younger or with a pre-existing condition. We might see, you know, a little bit of a sore throat or itchy, watery eyes, or we were talking yesterday about everyone having the sniffles now. That's from poor air quality, and that's why we tell people, please, this time of year, don't use your fireplace if you can avoid it.
Yeah, exactly, because all of that wood smoke is going up out of our fireplaces. We always hear people saying, oh, you don't want to get a ticket, but it's not necessarily that we're out writing tickets for people having a fire to keep warm. There are registered devices and non-registered devices for those fires. What does that mean?
So most of the season in Kern County and Fresno County and Madera County, we'll have these categories that we call no burning unless registered. That means that you have to have what we consider to be a clean EPA Phase 2 certified device, and it just limits the amount of smoke that is coming out of your chimney, often going back into your homes, often impacting your neighbors, and really contributing to that pollution burden we have. It's easy to get your device registered. You can call one of our local, we call them residential heating professionals. They can come out, they can verify that your device is actually EPA Phase 2 certified, and then you'll get the certification. And so on those days, when everyone else is not allowed to burn, you'll be allowed to burn.
Okay, and is that only if it's the only source of heat for your home? Is it if you have a glass device or a gas device behind the glass, you know?
Yep, there are actually a couple of exceptions to the rule. So if you have a gas device, you're not subject to the rule. You don't have to worry. You can use it. I actually turned mine on last night. You can use it just about any time you need to. The other thing is if you live in a home, and this mainly is in our foothill mountain communities where there is no natural gas service. The utility doesn't run a line out there. You're also exempt from the rule. And then there are a few folks who maybe they built a cabin, or maybe they built a granny flat on their rural residential property, and they just put a fireplace in their home. It's their sole source of heat. That unit is exempt from the rule. But we have lots of information online. People can go deep and learn all sorts of stuff about winter wood burning. It is our #1 source of pollution during the winter, so we really hope people will pay attention, not just because they might get a ticket, but it's also a good thing to do.
It's just a good thing to do. You know, after it rains, you'll hear people in the South Valley going, look at the mountains, look at the mountains. We want to have that every day. So I'm with you. I like having that gas fireplace. I just turn it on, turn it off.
Yeah.
And so with the electric, it's very different. Yeah.
Well, and so with gas, you can also, so say you have an open hearth fireplace and you want to go either gas or electric. We'll give you money to do that. We'll give you upwards of $5,000 to take that old fireplace out, take that old wood stove out. Often they're a hassle too. You have to keep them clean and you have to get the wood, and maybe you're even buying the wood from the grocery store, so it can get really expensive. We will pay you up to $5,000 to get rid of that old device and put in either a gas or an electric device. So there's lots of options out there. And just like you were saying, this weather pattern that we're in right now, I even checked as I was coming in, air quality is kind of deteriorating. We're moving up those levels. So even right now, until we get that weather system you were talking about, we're seeing poor air quality levels. So hopefully folks will understand and not light their fireplace tonight.
We're all in it together. And all that information, like she mentioned, valleyair.org. We have to go, but I really enjoyed this. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you all so much.
And coming up next, we have your Wellness Wednesday.